today we're being joined, or technically rejoined, by the Swans district star player, Kayley King. Kingy, thanks for coming back on.
Not a problem. How are you?
Not bad yourself?
Yeah, good. Yeah.
It's good. Now, we've got to address what you were a part of only a few weeks ago in the biggest scoops ever goal king challenge I've ever done. Obviously, you had a lot of good mates there, Jamie, Henry, Gemma, Karis, or from your team alone. How do you feel you fared, King? Because I thought, despite the result not going in your way in terms of the victory, I think you were one of the best ones there, and you definitely let people know about it.
It was good fun. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Shanked one right in front, which was a bit disappointing, but what can you do? And Karis ended up winning, so it was all right because she's a good friend, so I'll let her have it.
Yeah, let her have that moment. Now, I wanted to clarify this because we said it in the video. Just for clarity for people that were not sure, you didn't badmouth Karis. I misspoke. I actually heard it wrong. So just to clarify that, you're obviously good mates. And, yeah, it was the energy you both – other people did too, but you two in particular brought the energy in it. The competitiveness between yourself in particular was really good because I thought at first you had her, and then, as you said, that one miss, and that just put her just ahead.
Yeah, no, maybe a little bit of trash talking, but not a whole lot.
Right now, it's all in good fun. How did you feel the competition as a whole from people overall? Did you think Karis had that in her to get to the end?
Oh, for sure. I thought she was going to win from the start.
Oh.
It wasn't going to be me; it was going to be her. But it was good quality. All the girls there were pretty decent and hit snags, so it was good fun.
That's good. Now, obviously, a teammate of yours, Jamie Henry, obviously, how do you feel she would have fared? Because I feel like had she been in the actual goalkeeping part of it, I thought she was actually my tip. But yeah, how do you feel Jamie would have went had she been a part of the goalkeeping side of things? Because she's trying to gun for my job here with the roaming style stuff.
I think she would have done pretty well as well. She's a pretty good kick, so her and Karis would have gone at it, I reckon.
It would have been really interesting to see how that goes, but maybe in the future we'll see. Now, Kingy, I know, but tell us a bit about yourself. What got you into footy and what type of player you are?
So I'm originally from the country, so I grew up playing other sports, and then played when it came to Geraldton. I started playing, and then when I moved to Perth, I kind of had to choose a sport, and I picked footy, and just been playing at Swans for the last couple of years, and been trying to work on my IQ a little bit. So just trying to be clean and quick and make some good decisions.
That's good. So obviously you said you moved to the districts a few years ago. How was that move coming from a different level of footy or different level in general, and then move into the Waflw? Obviously a big step up.
Yeah, it was a huge step up. I'd never really played very competitively at all. It was like pretty social where I came from. I actually broke my ankle my first ever Waflw game, so that put me out for my first season. So I played one game and then didn't play again till the next year, and I actually think that kind of helped a little bit, just getting used to like the processes and just the different game, because I was sidelined for so long. I watched and learned a whole lot, and then took it into my game the next year, which was, as much as injuries suck, it was kind of like good in a way that I just learnt from it.
That's right. And how was it though? You mentioned only playing a game and then missing the whole season through an injury. How do you go through all that process, not knowing that, you know, your season at that point was done and you couldn't do nothing from it from a playing point of view?
I just kind of got around the girls at training. I was new to Perth as well, so it was nice to just be involved and have like that support network, which I like lacked a little bit because I didn't know too many people. So I just got in the gym and tried to learn and contribute as much as I could, like at training.
Now that's good. How do you feel the girls have gone on the weekend? Obviously a tight loss in the end, and what I've said to some of your teammates I've had on since that game, you know, it's great to see the fight and the determination. I got to watch it back after the game, as I mentioned to you, and it was good to see the fight never gave up, despite being like 27 or something at 3 quarter time, to only lose by a couple of goals and be in it in the last 10 minutes too.
Yeah, I think it shows good signs. We've got a whole lot of talent, and some like silly errors, and they capitalised, which is going to happen. But I think we've got so much talent there, and we're pretty new. There's lots of new people in the group, so just getting used to each other, and hopefully getting a few later down the track.
That's for sure. And how do you feel you fared personally? As I said, seeing the back half of the game, I know Carrot's had a really good game, but I feel like, and I'm not just saying this because I've had you on, I feel like you were pretty strong in that back half, and your game set it seemed to have gone to another level in that back half in particular.
Yeah, I think I started a little bit slow, which isn't great, but I thought I used the ball okay. I just needed to get my hands on it a little bit more, but we'll try again next week. And tackle pressure and all that kind of stuff was there, so just go again next week, see how we go.
That's good. Obviously, playing through the midfield. So, what would you say some of your biggest strengths as a footballer?
I like to get in and under and apply some pressure and just run all day, be at every contest, get to the open side when we've got the ball, things like that.
So what would you say is some or some goals you set for yourself this year, Kingy?
This year, I want to be clean with the ball, make some good decisions, and just put in that like 110% effort every game. I think that's all myself to start with anyway, yeah.
That's good. Obviously, playing Peel this week, what do you have to do to kind of combat them? Obviously, they had a tough loss on the weekend, but obviously yourself had a similar type of result. But how do you going into Peel, and what are some things you try and work on, or some plans you try and have?
I think as a team, we want to play a little bit more of our style. Like Claremont are pretty strong and structured, so it's a bit hard to like put your own game in. But we got there towards the end. I think just as a team, knowing what each other's going to do and like reading each other and just getting in and under and hitting them pretty hard from the start and see if we can get some scoreboard pressure.
That's right. Obviously Peel obviously has side they got some good young players as well, and it'll be a tight contest. And as you know, I did say after that goal kicking challenge day that I would end up picking a team, and obviously decided to pick your team. Well, now it's our team. What can people look forward to this year at the districts, and obviously back my decision as well?
So we've got some younger players in the side, which is awesome, like Karis, and there's a few other ones that have just got so much talent. And then we also have some older ex-AFLW players in the team this year, which will be awesome because they'll bring the wisdom, and then we've got the talent coming through. So it's just going to be good to see everyone develop and learn from those older players, bring it all together. Like, it is quite exciting what we're going to be able to do this year.
That's good. How important is it having players like Emma Humphries come down, who obviously, as you mentioned, being an ex-AFLW player, and anyone like yourself, having some experience around you that have had that level, and you know what you need to do to get to the next level? I know you've had some other stuff at Freo, which we'll get to shortly, but how beneficial is it having players like Emma around that have played at that level before, and you know what to expect?
It's really valuable experience because they drive the standards, obviously. Like everyone there's been bringing up the intensity, but Emma really drives the standards, and she brings the knowledge around structures and just like how to improve little parts of your game. I've been like asking lots of questions as well to her and some of the coaches as well, just because they can give you that extra little lift that you like, or things you want to improve on in your game. They're there for you. They can help you with that because they've been there and been at that level.
That's right. And obviously, as I just mentioned, obviously we were training on with the Dockers last year. How cool was that experience, and what learnings did you take from that?
It was awesome. I remember my first training. I was just like, this is the coolest thing ever. And it's just cool to see the intensity that comes with that next level. And just the environment, it's just such a energetic, positive environment. What was with the Dockers was awesome. Just driving standards and intensity, that's a few things that I've definitely brought from that. And then just trying to execute your skills in that level where the pressure is a little bit higher than what it is at Waflw.
That's right. How were you in that first day? I'm sure you wouldn't be the only one. I'm assuming you were very nervous. And How did you go in the first day? And were you still, if you were nervous to start off with, were you still nervous like one of the last sessions you did, or did you settle in pretty quickly after that?
I was quite nervous when I first went in there, but I took it more as like an opportunity to just kind of give it a good crack. So I think after the first couple of sessions, and the girls especially were quite welcoming and happy to give you a hand with something if you didn't understand. But yeah, settled in eventually, but it is pretty nerve-wracking. Like, you're coming in once a week when they're training 4 times a week at that level, and it's like a very good experience, but it is quite a big jump when you first start. Yeah.
That's right. Did you take? Is there any players in particular, Kingy, in the midfield or in any other positions, or just in general, that kind of took you under your wing while you were there, under their wing? Sorry, while you were there.
Yeah. A couple of the girls in the midfield, definitely Dana East, one of. Yeah, just the knowledge they have and their skills. It's just like something that I look up to and I want to build my game around. And Anya Tai is just extreme athlete. Like, she was so good at pretty much everything. Just like watching her and seeing her train was awesome. And obviously having to help out as well was good.
And I'm sure Anya will be very happy that you pronounced her name correctly, because I'm sure she's heard her name get butchered. Both names, part of her names, get butchered over and over again.
Yeah, she would have, I reckon.
That's good. And obviously, how much confidence, though, does it give you being a train on last year at the Dockers? Obviously, they don't just hand them out to anybody. I mean, it's a serious gig. Yeah, it's a train on, isn't an official player. But I'm sure to give you so much confidence knowing that you're so close. If they're inviting you, they obviously think and value you as basically the next. If there's an injury or there's something, you are next.
Yeah, it is a good feeling to have been asked by them to come and train with them, and I just wanted to learn as much as I could while I was there, because that when I was there, like, this is what I want to do. That's kind of the goal. So yeah, just trying to take in what I've learned and put it into my game now, and just keep growing and learning from there.
That's good. So obviously, before you started Waflw, Kingy, you obviously won a local premiership in Geraldton. How was it winning a premiership? And like I always tell everyone, it doesn't matter what level it is. A premiership is a premiership, and I don't care if it's Division 77 or if it's Div 1 or if it's a higher level. Premiership is a premiership.
Yeah, it was pretty epic. So it was actually the same year as my first Waflw season, because the seasons are a bit different. I had just back from my injury, so I was like a bit rusty because I had been out for a fair bit. And I was kicking on my left foot because my right foot was still a bit dodgy, so I was playing with my left foot. And it was my birthday too, actually, the day of the grand final, and we won. It was just the coolest thing ever. We'd been in, I think, 4 or 5 grand finals and just hadn't won one. So that was our first ever win in the whole league, pretty much, because it had only been going for 5 or so years. So it was our first one. We finally got one. It was my birthday, and yeah, we had a good time after that. That was pretty awesome.
I'm sure you would have. That just makes it even better, Kingy, that it's your birthday, it's a premiership. Combine that all together. That's obviously a great day. Yeah,
for sure. It was the best day ever, really.
That's right. I mean, you can't ask for much more than that. Now, I probably know this answer and where this is going, but I've got to ask it. You may surprise me, you may not. Who was your favourite teammate or teammates at the club?
It's hard to pick because I'm pretty close with a fair few of the girls, but Paris has definitely got to be up there. She's got a lot of energy. And then obviously M. Humphries this year coming in has been pretty awesome. She helped a fair bit with just little things and got answers to pretty much all your questions. So those two have been pretty helpful this year and always good to have around.
That's good. You talk about Karis being in the Energizer Bunny. I think you fit that category yourself. Now, I normally get to this later, but I'm going to bring this up now since we're on the topic of teammates. And Kingy, what I will say is, I don't know if you've heard it or heard some of it. Is some of the teammates always nominate you for the loudest teammate and the best chatterbox at the club. Is that true? And regardless of that answer, who would you put in those spots?
Yeah, I'd say probably is pretty true. I do like to have a chat. But I'm just trying to think. Well, for me, Harris is up there, but then you also have probably Lily Patterson, and Indy West can get a bit chirpy sometimes as well.
That's good answer. I've had Indiana on, or Indy as well on as well. She's a good person as well. And Karis, I mean, again, that's a fair answer. And I love the honesty too about nominating yourself in that category. And it doesn't mean it's a bad thing. You're allowed to talk and you're allowed to be loud. I'm the exact same thing. I like talking and I'm loud. There's nothing wrong with that.
Now, someone's got to do it. Someone's got to get everyone up and about, don't they?
Exactly. You can't be dull and boring, King. You got to do what we're doing, and that's been exciting and fun and make things interesting.
Exactly, yeah.
It's the way to go about it. Now, what do you feel is the best game, Kingy, that you've ever played in that's got you into the position that you're in now? And, obviously Fremantle, again, we don't just pick you off nothing. So what's some of the best individual games or block of form or year it feels what you're doing in the position you're in now?
I think we had a bit of a rough start as a club to the year last year. But I feel like I personally played quite decent in the first couple of games. And then I had another block kind of towards the middle of the year where I did quite well. I wasn't too happy how I finished off last season because that was my first Waflw season. But few games at the start and few games in the middle that I just felt like I had it all sorted for those couple of games. But yeah, finish strong, but hopefully this year we can be a little bit more consistent.
Yeah, that's very true. Now, obviously, you mentioned as well to me that you had an MVP award in your league debut. So how would you, for winning the MVP? Obviously, it's a huge honour as well.
Yes, it was.
Runner, beg your pardon, sorry.
No, all good. I didn't expect it. I thought I had a pretty decent year and had been asked to train with the Dockers, but I wasn't really expecting it. And then at the wind-up when I get it, I was like, well, that's a pretty exciting thing. Just reiterated how much work I did put into last season, back of my, which was pretty just like exciting for me to know that my hard work was being seen by people.
That's right. Leadership aspirations, King, is that something that you've ever been interested in being a part of, or something that you may be in now, or something in the future that you look to? Or is it something that you don't really have and you more have a off-title leader per se, where you don't have the title, but I mean, you don't need the title to be a leader. You can have your off-field version as well.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely in the next couple of years, I like to possibly get a leadership role if voted in, but I think it's more than a role, leadership as such, and I feel like you can be a leader on and off the field if you want to, regardless of whether you're the captain or in the leadership group. So I just try and lead by example at training and drive standards and things like that. But yeah, I've definitely be wanting to jump into those positions if they were available. Yeah,
that's good. So now I'm sure you've had plenty of good goals. What do you feel is the best goal, King, you've ever kicked at any level?
I kicked one in Geraldton. It's probably one of the windiest places in WA.
Yeah.
In a final, and we were 2 goals down. And I kicked one from the pocket. It was actually supposed to be a centering kick, but the wind just took it straight through the goals. It was right on the boundary line, and that was pretty cool. Unintentional, probably one of the goals I've ever kicked. And then we had one more kick on the siren and ended up hitting the post and losing by 5 points. But that goal that I kicked was probably one of my best ones.
Now, again, I know this answer just based off the goal kicking challenge. That day will make me answer this question. But what is your best goal celebration, Kingy, and what is your go-to celebration?
I like a bit of a fist bump.
Yes.
Real good. You could go the double, but yeah, a bit of a jump in the air and a fist is my go-to.
It's good. Now this one can be as unrealistic as you like here. If you were wanting to describe the best goal you'd ever love to kick, the moment, the occasion, the style of goal, whether it's from the boundary, a check side after the siren, grand final, everything, you add that all together. Kingy, what is the best version of a goal you would love to kick?
I think it would be pretty cool. I spent a bit of my time playing on the wing. I think it'd be pretty cool to run it down the wing with a bounce or two and then slot it 45 degrees, probably about 30 meters out, being realistic. But yeah, something like that would be pretty cool, I reckon.
That's nice. And if you got a crowd at games, you'd love to hear that roar, screams, or whatever people do these days, and have that crowd behind you. That'd be pretty, especially if it's a home game, and have that behind you.
Yeah, for sure. That'd be wicked.
Absolutely. Now, mark or goal of the year, King, which one would you rather do and why?
Oh, definitely a goal. I think you've got to say that. Just kicking goals is the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Who
wants a mark? Goals are the ones we can carry on. Yes, a mark you can, but you basically take the mark and you got to do something within 10 seconds. And the goal's a goal, and you can carry on for 1 minute, the whole game, or you can chirp your opponent, say, "See that nice goal I got that you let me get? Yeah. Thanks." Everyone loves a goal, King. I mean, that's my answer. I always give 50-50 split answers here, but yeah, that's my clear-cut answer. We love a goal, and goal kicking, you can just tell. I love goals. They're so good. There's something about them that just gets you up and about. Even if you're losing, I feel like it's like a motivator individually for yourself to go, I just did that.
Yeah, exactly. Love kicking a snag.
That's right. Now, Kingy, I again probably know this answer too, but is there any nicknames you get that you like or dislike? Or maybe I'm just calling you a nickname the entire time here.
Yeah, I get Kingy at footy. And that's about it. But I don't love it. I didn't love it to start with because that's like my dad's nickname. But at the end of the day, there's plenty worse nicknames, so you get used to it, embrace it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what's your preference?
No, I think Kingy's stuck now. You can't pick your nicknames. I think they just get given to you. So
yeah, that's very true. I mean, obviously my real name actually clearly known as Cooper, but my page nickname is Scoops, and I mean, I kind of at first I'm like, oh, I don't know, it's just if you just added an S really at the front. But like if you're posting news and you're, dare I say it, exclusives as people say these days, if you're scooping up a story, so it makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, I love it now. I use it on everything. In fact, I don't know how many people not many people call me Cooper now. I just get Scoops all the time, so it's interesting. I'll take either. I'm not too fast, but anyway, what's something, Kingy, someone does at the club that you can't stand, whether it's leaving rubbish around, just being flat out annoying? Is there anything that comes to mind?
Yeah, we have lockers in our change rooms, and under our lockers we have like a little seat. And Edo's next to my locker, and she always just puts all of her stuff in my locker. And I have to move it and say, get it out of my locker, put it in yours. Yours is right there. But other than that, everyone's pretty good.
That's good. I can't for the life of me know which team or which player it was, but it was very recently. Someone said to me, and it's a very similar example, which is what makes me remember it, was there was a culprit that someone at one of the clubs, at the Waflw clubs, was trying to find the culprit that keeps leaving their bag in front of the person next, or they don't know who it is actually, so it could be the next locker buddy, it could be someone from the other side, I don't know, that leaves their bag in front of someone else's where they can't do anything until that person moves it. So they said they're going to get to training early and see who tries to leave that bag there.
Yeah, well, that would work. I always get to training one of the first ones there. So I put my stuff in, but then Edo will just put her stuff in front of my stuff. But because I know it's hers, we all have numbers on our bags. I just get it and move it, put it in her locker because she's number 2. So I tuck it next to her.
Side by side.
Yeah.
But this particular player that I'm trying to think of, they didn't have a number on their bag, which I know this person said they had it and a lot of their teammates did. So I said, try and find out. Basically, I'm assuming it's either someone from the Rogers maybe, or someone that's brand new to the club, or someone that just borrowed a bag from someone that hasn't got a name or number on it. I said, try and connect the dots there and find out who has not got a number. That might be the easy way to find out.
That would work.
That would definitely work. If you could poach any player from that, actually, first of all, I should ask you who you support, first of all, in the AFL, AFLW.
I just support. I grew up going for the Eagles, but I kind of support the Dockers and the Eagles.
Oh boy!
I live pretty close to Optus, so I just go and watch the games whenever I can, kind of thing. So I just happy for any WA to do well.
So more neutral, I'd say then.
Yeah, but if it's a derby, then I go for Eagles.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, because as you be fully aware, those two teams and then those two state teams, like the SAs of Adelaide and Port, they do not like each other at all.
No, yeah, no. I'll have to go with Eagles, I think. But
no, that's fair. So if you could you can put your list management hat on, Kingy. If you were able to steal a player in AFL or AFLW to join the Eagles from another club, as be again unrealistic as you want, who would you love to poach from another club and why?
I think I would move Anya Tai from the Dockers to the Eagles if I had to pick.
Yeah.
Just because seeing her in action is just amazing. Otherwise, you can't really go past Mon Conti and her skills.
Yeah.
But it depends on what you're looking for, really, doesn't it? It's a bit of a hard question to answer, but those two come to mind, yeah.
Two good choices, obviously a forward and obviously probably one of, not the best player and midfielder in the competition. I mean, in terms of the overall competition, Kingy, who would you feel is the best player in the AFLW competition? I mean, you got Mon, obviously you got Jazz Garner, Ash Riddell, Ebony Marinoff, Laura Gunner, Ali Morford, Ella Roberts, Ali Goldsworthy. You know, the Spark Sisters. There's so many names, and I feel a bit different to the men's. It's so wide open that any one of those names I just mentioned, or maybe a couple others, you could fit in that spot. Who would you put in as the best player in the comp?
Ooh, I want to say Mon Conti just because of how she plays and obviously similar build and position. I watch her quite closely and think she's pretty amazing. But I think Ella Roberts would also be a big one to watch. She's obviously still only a couple of years in, and I think she's pretty good. So yeah, those two are both.
That's for sure. I mean, Ella Roberts is a great choice. Obviously, Mon Conti is a fan favourite and a lot of the time most chosen. But it's so impressive for Ella to hear her name gets talked about in this category already in the second season, I think it was, this year just gone. And she's so versatile and probably, along with Zali Goldsworthy as well, probably the two best young players in the comp. They got bright futures ahead of them where I think Zali had the best individual game off the field ever in AFLW history from the start to now, when she kicked 5 goals and 23 disposals, like 11 marks, 7 tackles, or 11 tackles as well. It was just insane. It's probably the best individual game for a forward. Kicked 5 goals, 23 disposals, 11 marks, 11 tackles. That's bloody insane.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy. That's talent.
I'll be lucky to get those stats in a bloody year, let alone a game. But anyway, here we are. Teammates, Kingy, you've been impressed by. They kind of fly under the radar a little bit. They don't get talked about as much as they really should.
I think you can't go past the talent of Em Maguire in our team. Had a few years off and he's back now, so she'll be good for us down the road. And then Bree Hyde is back as well. She's super talented. So that's Michaela Hyde's twin sister.
Yeah.
And then I think Indy West is due for a big year as well. She's got plenty of talent ready to just burst out onto the Waflw scene.
Yeah.
Her speed is next level.
That's right. Now, so what are some fun facts about you, Kingy, that people may not know about you?
I'm a bit of an open book,
Okay.
but I love to cook.
Nice.
I'm not very good at it. I'm still learning, but it's a hobby of mine. And
Yep.
It's not nothing that really comes to mind. Yeah, nothing else really.
That's fair enough.
Napping's a big hobby.
Sorry, what was that?
Napping is a big hobby of mine.
Oh, nice. Like a nap here and there, do you?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Now, defenders, King, I feel like they deserve a bit more love from a public scene, at least, in AFL and AFLW in particular, because obviously the midfielders have got the Brownlow, and rucks even these days get recognised in Brownlow votes and everything, and the forwards obviously at the Coleman. Do you feel that the defenders need their own official title as well at that level in particular?
Oh, 100%. Even our backline, I didn't mention any of them before, but we've got some like Eliza Milne and Demi Little in our backline at next level. They've saved our asses so many times. But yeah, the same thing, AFL and AFLW. I think that they don't get enough credit for what they do. It's a hard gig at times.
Absolutely, it would be. Coach's pet. Is there any coach's pets at the districts?
Maybe I want to say Courtney Zapara, Zappa.
Oh, yeah.
Zappa, she gets in there and has a chat. And maybe Edo as well. Oh,
yeah.
Taylor. Yeah, we'll go with those.
That's. I'd love, for some reason these days, King, I can't really get an answer out of people these days to this question. It used to be smooth sailing and there was names galore. In the last month, gee, I've been getting a lot. It's not really any. There has to be some, doesn't it? And I'm glad you named some.
Yeah, well, it's not necessarily a bad thing, is it?
No.
But, yeah.
It's like people think, shit, if I name someone, they're going to hate me now. Well, if they did generally hate you back off a piss take answer, really, well, maybe they're not really a friend then if they're literally getting salty over it.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, there's something, Kingy, I've incorporated recently. Now, I'm no Taylor Swift fanatic. I don't know about you, but I'm no fanatic. First off, do you like Taylor Swift, or are you a Swiftie, as they say?
I would consider myself a Swiftie.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I was a lot, like, definitely a real fan. Now it's died off a little bit, but I do like Taylor Swift a lot. Yeah.
That's good. So, all right. So now I wasn't like, again, I didn't dislike her. I wasn't a massive fan and I didn't dislike her. But nowadays, since she had a concert in Melbourne and Sydney and all those other places she had recently, since then, and I know people that don't like her and for some reason hate her with her passion for some reason. I don't know if it's just the music or certain parts of the songs or whatever the hell it is. Anyway, so now I've started to like her a bit more because now obviously some of her songs, even without liking her, you know, obviously Shake It Off and all that stuff. So there's two catchphrases I use that really piss people off, King. And I'm sure since you like Taylor Swift, you know, anyone that doesn't like her and you're trying to piss someone off, two things I would recommend to say. Look, is just say to someone, if they're pissing off, just look, insert name John. Like, John, just shut up, just shake it off. And they know, because they hate Taylor Swift, they know exactly what you're talking about, and they hate it.
Yeah, I definitely think that would piss a few people off. There's a few haters there.
Absolutely. And the other one that I use is, look, you just have to hate. That's another.
People, lots of Swiftie non-Swifties out there, I think, especially after her coming to Melbourne. She's a bit disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, I might slowly be becoming a Swiftie just because I love pissing people off about this thing. So maybe that's how it's converted me. Maybe not. We'll see. Now it's Kingy, the toughest opponent you've ever had to match up on at any level. If there's no particular name that comes on, is there a team?
I think Claremont's always pretty tough for us.
Yeah.
They've got bodies. Jamie Harkin in the middle there is pretty
Mm.
tough.
Yes.
So structurally consistent and sound that it makes it a bit tricky for us. But I think although they're still always going to be tough, we did well on the weekend, especially having them round one.
Yeah.
One's always like a big ask, but yeah, they're definitely a pretty tough opponent. But I think we did well on the weekend.
That's right. How was it having to face against some of the girls at Claremont that we had in the Gold King competition? I spoke to Georgia Webb, obviously from Claremont, and I spoke to her literally, what day was it? Friday. So obviously the day before your game, and I said to Georgia, I brought this up, and I said, how was it knowing that you've just first these girls? And she loved it because, in particular, this part, because, you know, she got to see what yourself and Karis and Gemma were like as footballers, and Jamie to a degree. So I know Jamie didn't play, but, you know, being there and kind of get a gist of what you three are like as footballers as well, and just that connection. Was that something to, obviously, Angela Grayson was part of that team as well, so was that sometimes a bit beneficial to kind of see what, I know was more of a fun thing, but like kind of get the gist of how their distance going, how their kicking is?
A little bit. They're both like going into it. We both all knew that they were going to be quality players either way. But yeah, it was good to kind of just suss out everyone a little bit, even the girls from the other clubs as well, and see how everyone's going like before the season starts, which is always handy to have a look in before we get going.
That's right, absolutely. It's good to see. Any outside of footy interest, Kingy, that you have?
I'm pretty busy with footy and uni, but I'm full time at uni doing PE teaching, which is something that I do enjoy, and I've got some good friends from that. But I just like getting outside with friends. The other day and played basketball down the park, things like that.
Nice.
Just enjoying time with friends and family. I do like a cheeky punt at the casino as well.
Okay, yeah.
Nice hobby. Can't do it too often, obviously, but
No.
given the chance, it's always something to have a bit of fun with friends.
That's good. That's one thing I didn't know. Interesting. And no, it's not something you should be advocating for or anywhere. But do you lose a lot?
Oh no, I never spend very much. I had a win. The last time I went, I won. But my family's also big into like your racehorses, and we have racehorses and things like that. So, yeah, looking at form guides and seeing the odds, always checking that out. But I don't usually spend a whole lot. It's hard being a uni student anyway. I don't have spare change to do that. But even just going around the casino for a look and watching other people lose
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I've had a few events in Melbourne and the one in Perth when I was when I had the WWE stuff the night before. And you just go past, and I'm not one to go on their machines or nothing, to be honest. But yeah, it's nice seeing some people lose, see some people win, and then seeing so many people rage at it. It's funny sometimes, especially when you're not the one losing.
Yeah, just a bit of people watching is fun around there because people are always up to something. So yeah.
That's right. Now, you mentioned the PE course at uni. How's that gone? Obviously, you just said you love it. So that's clearly something that you want to get into while playing footy and, you know, just in general.
Yeah, it's been awesome. I'm in my 3rd year now, so I've got 1 year left after this year. And, yeah, just the real passion of mine is just trying to help kids just get into being active, enjoying being outdoors and running around. It's just getting, I don't know, a little bit less common in today's society with all the technology, but I think there's a beauty helping kids be able to participate and just enjoy not being on a device, enjoy being with their friends running around outside and things like that. So I think it's so beautiful for anyone really, not just like kids, but yeah.
That's all right. I completely agree with you there. Interstate trips. Have you ever had to do King for footy or anything else? Do any interstate trips? And if so, are you a fan of it?
Yeah, I have. Before I played footy, I played basketball. So
Yep.
I've been to 3 or 4 interstate trips for that. So I went to nationals 3 times. I've been to one of them was in Perth actually, so I didn't travel for that. But
Yeah.
one in Townsville, that was super fun. We went and explored.
Mm.
I will definitely go back there one day. That was sick. And then Long in winter, so I wasn't a huge fan. It was quite cold, but
Say Geelong, you say?
Sorry?
Do you say Geelong?
Yeah, Geelong.
Yeah.
Fun as well though. It's good to just go somewhere different with your team, but obviously it's a whole week, so it does get quite draining. But yeah, always exciting to get on a plane and get to go play sport somewhere different with a whole bunch of girls that you get along with.
Yeah. And definitely that obviously, yes, you have all the tiring moments still, but it makes that time much better if you're with people and, you know, obviously, as you said, get along really well with, compared to, say, if you're going somewhere on your own and you're like, oh, another 3 days, another 2 days, you know, and you're like counting it down, where at least, I suppose, if you've got people with you and stuff, it kind of eliminates that thought. Maybe that thought's always there, but not as much.
Yeah, exactly. They've been some of my highlights of just sport in general, though. Yeah, going interstate with teams.
That's good. So how were you individually as a basketball, and did you have any success in that as well?
I wasn't too bad. Our state teams didn't. We were country state, so we never do too well at nationals. We're always in the bottom few teams, but yeah, individually I was okay. I could have played like in Perth, but I just, as soon as I started playing footy at a higher level, I enjoyed it. Thought there's more people to be friends with, more people to chat with in the footy team. So yeah, gave that a crack instead.
That's fair. Did you ever play any other sports outside of basketball, footy, or was it just always basketball and footy?
I played hockey as well. Quite enjoyed that. And then I pretty much tried everything. Being in a smaller country town, you give everything a crack. So netball, touch, soccer, all that kind of thing.
No, that's good. Now, this is the part of the night where the controversial food questions come out, Kingy. Everyone is just always raging about this. What is this? Is it? Do you have this on it? Do you not have that on it? Is it pronounced this? And I want to see how you go. Now, I've just had, kind of leaking it by saying this, but I've just had one of your teammates on Millie Edger, who obviously made a debut on the weekend. It was great to see. And she's now just been the first person to get every question right. When I say get every question right, there's no right or wrong answers, but to the same answers as me. So let's see if we can go 2 in a row here. All right. So first one, chicken palmy. Is it a palmy or is it something else?
It's a palmy. It's not a palmer. It's a palmy.
Legend. That's 1 for 1, King. I do not, for the life of me, understand anyone that calls it. I mean, it's spelled Parmi, palmy, and it's pronounced Parmigiana. It's in the freaking name.
Yeah, palmy. That one's right. I'll give you that.
That's right. What is wrong with people saying the opposite? How could you come for any logical reason, King, as to why the hell they would say something else, or they're just talking?
Why you would say something else other than palmy? But I thought it was a Eastern States thing. They say Palmer, or is that not right?
Well, here in Vic, I get a mixed response. So I actually don't think I've had a WA person say anything else. So I will love that streak to keep going. So we're 1 for 1, so that's good. Right. Tomato sauce, cupboard or fridge?
I think mine's currently in the fridge, but I don't actually care. Whatever.
I count that, King. So 2 for 2. Good. Right. Ooh. Now this is probably the one that generally gets divided and goes against me, but we'll see how you go here, King. Pineapple pizza, yes or no?
Yeah, all for it.
Flip. Right, that's okay. That's okay. I freaking knew this is always the one that gets me, but that's okay. Can't always get them right. Let's see how you keep going, King. So there you go. All right. Favorite takeaway place?
I'm a big
Okay. Something happened there, but we'll be back.
I'm a big fan of KFC, but this
Okay.
year my New Year's resolution was to not eat takeaway as much, so I've been going for the Zambreros instead.
I love that you brought up Zambreros because I was going to bring this up in here. King, a lot of your WA teammates and friends have every time the first person, I can't remember who the first person I said this to, but their reaction was like, "What the flip is wrong with you?" Basically, look, I did not know definitively what the hell Sombreros was. I've heard of the name, but I didn't know what it was. But now, over this last month or two, I am now fully aware what Sombreros is. What is your go-to order there?
I get a beef burrito with black beans and chipotle sauce.
Now, you're getting bonus points for that because you just said the exact same sauce I like to. So that's 3 out of 4 now. That's good. Right. Okay. Where's the next one? Food you don't like?
I'll eat anything. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll accept that. That's technically a correct one. Right. Next one. Favorite food?
I just kind of eat whatever's in front of me, but I'm a big fan of Yoshi. Have you heard of that?
I have heard of that. I'm also now fully aware. Karis said she was getting. Did she get her free Yoshi, by the way?
Yeah, she did. She did. Oh, I was gonna pay for her Yoshi, but then she paid for it, so I didn't have to. But we went and got it after the goal kicking challenge. Yeah.
Very good. There you go. I was just so pumped for that too. I remember that in the video. Yeah, we was like, yeah, Yoshi. Yes, I have heard of it. It's a yogurt, isn't it?
Yeah, frozen yogurt, self-serve frozen yogurt.
Thank Christ, I got that right. What do you think is the appeal to Sombreros? Because I keep hearing, as I said, I hadn't really heard of it until people like yourself keep on bringing it up. But it's a good thing, and I like the answer you said of the go-to order.
Do you not have Victoria? I thought it was everywhere.
Well, that's what everyone else is. There may be, Kingy, but I can't find one. And now I want to find one. I'm going to have to start doing it. So I want to know.
They're everywhere. WA. They're everywhere.
That's right. Now, I tell you right now, if I ever find one in Vic, I'm going to take a photo of it, and then I'm going to send it to all you girls that have mentioned it, because I can't. I'm going to have to start Googling this later. I really want to find one now. Hopefully it's not hours away, but I want to find one.
Yeah,
anyway,
it's good.
Definitely, I like burritos, so I mean, I think I would like it considering that's what it is. So, for sure. Best dish to cook, Kingy. If you do cook, if you don't cook, what's the best dish that you can cook? If it's something just nice and basic.
I actually made myself today. I made a pumpkin and mushroom risotto, and it's really good. I had it for dinner tonight. That's probably honestly the best thing to date that I've made as far as like a meal.
No, that's good. Now I'm going to try and break you from the foods that you said you like anything. All right. Now I don't know if this is a food, but I know this is something that people have eaten. And to be honest, I don't know how you could, but snails.
Never tried them, but I would try them if they were like, if I went to France or something, I would give them a crack, I reckon. I feel like you have to, and then I would decide whether I'd have them again or not.
Okay. Sorry, I thought I'd break you with that one. I can't even think of anything else at the top of my head. But damn it, I tried. Gee, you're unbreakable here. Okay, well, maybe you should give that a test one day. Maybe not during footy season, but maybe you should give that a test.
Yeah. My mum always said you have to try everything 10 times before you say you don't like it.
I've heard that saying too, and I don't listen to that. There's something I've never had. I mean, I've been told that as well, but no, I was like, nope, not having it. Now, how are you with tomato sauce? Obviously, you mentioned that you have it. So, if you were to have tomato sauce, would you have tomatoes? And in every form. Because, to be honest, I'm not the only one that says this. I'm not a fan of tomatoes, but I'll have tomato sauce. And the only thing I say that to is I'll have it, but I don't like it or prefer tomato. I think it's more in a chunk. Like, it's in bolognese sauces, for God's sake. So I have it in that form. Like, if you get a burger, I wouldn't have it as a slice.
Oh, I'm a big fan. I'll definitely have it in a sandwich, in a burger, or even just get like the cherry tomatoes to snack on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like them.
Very good. Now, a random food question. I just got to bring this up. It's got a friend of mine, and I've asked a few people this, that he got critiqued by a waitress, and I found this really funny, which is why I'm bringing this up. How are you with cheese?
Put on as much as you want, I reckon. Go for it.
I love that answer, King. I'm the same. I mean, you get whatever dish you get, especially ones that you would put cheese on, which is pretty much everything. You know, I'd be like, yep, I'm just flooded. And anyway, so the reason I bring this up is because a mate of mine, he got a chicken palmy, and he's not allergic to it or nothing, but he's not a big fan of cheese. And he asked him for a chicken palmy without cheese. And I tell you, I kid you not, the reaction, normally, you know, you order what you want and the waitress or, you know, person behind the till don't say a word and don't, you know, react. And the reaction he got this day was so funny. He mentioned it and they're like, what is wrong with you? That's what they actually said.
No, I think that's a fair comment. Who doesn't have cheese and chicken palmies?
I agree. See, friend, I told you. You're in the wrong there. Thanks, Kingy. Right, so some of your most prized possessions.
My water bottle. I have my bottle, and I have all the different stickers that I've collected on it.
Nice.
And that's something that I always like to know where it is. It's always in arm's reach. What else? I have a pearl necklace that my granddad bought for me. That I wear a fair bit. I don't have it on at the moment, but I keep that one. That one's pretty close to my heart. Keep that one safe.
Yeah.
But other than that, not too many things, and maybe just my car.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Now, Kingy, obviously our ages aren't that much far apart, but I think honestly, people these days that don't say, maybe it may not be a high priority, but people that say they don't need a phone, people that say they don't need a phone, do you think they're full of shit?
I think that you don't need all of the apps and things. They're probably necessary, but they do make downtime and just easier to share things, and so you probably do need one. You probably don't need everything that comes with it, but each to their own.
That's fair enough. But because you need it for communication. I get it if you don't, for just a chit chat type thing, but like for phone calls and I don't know, and especially in your case at a football club, you need to be communicated with things at some point. So you need it for some degree.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, absolutely. Okay. Again, I know this answer, but I'm going to ask it anyway. How do you fancy yourself king in front of the big sticks, the goals?
Oh, I'd like to say I probably about an 80-20 ratio, 80 being I kick it, but I don't know. Sometimes I get a bit nervous, but yeah, I'd like to say I would kick more than I miss anyway.
Well, as I said on the day, you made a name for yourself. You started on a house on fire in that contest.
Yeah.
No. Now, I spoke to Kayla Vanderheever from the East Perth side. West Perth, sorry, I knew I'd stuffed that up. She actually, I don't know if you saw part of the video, but she actually didn't qualify for that top three. She, Angela Grace from Claremont, she miscounted. So Kayla almost won off someone else's miscalculation. That would have been awkward. When I started editing that play, I thought, what the flip? She did not even make the top three. In fact, I don't even know if she was even fourth.
Wow.
So I don't know how.
I probably would have made the top three.
I think you were What did you
Because
score?
I
Do you
was
remember?
1 point. Or I probably wouldn't have, but I think I was only 1 point behind them.
Yeah. It was something like that for sure. It was so close, and I actually thought you were getting there. But anyway, maybe round 2, if I ever venture down again, maybe that could be round 2. Let's see what happens there. Now, celebrity crush, Kingy.
You can't go past Jacob Aloidi, I don't think.
No,
I don't
fair
know
enough.
his name right, but yeah.
Yeah.
Lock that in.
Lock it in, Eddie. Okay, fair enough. All right. Favorite music?
I'm a big fan of country music at the moment. So Zach Bryan, Noel Khan, Dylan Gossett, stuff like that.
That's fair enough. Any particular favorite songs?
Anything Zach Bryan.
That's fair enough. Whatever happened, as long as it's his, it's whatever. That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Game day superstitions, King. Do you have any at all? They're like non-negotiables, and you got to do this.
Last year I had a big routine, but this year I moved away from it. I just think because the game times always change and the days as well, I can't lock anything in. So I think just a good meal the night before.
Yeah, that's a good one. Now, jumping number 1. So, is there any particular importance behind the number? How did you come about getting it? Did you just get it? Did you ask for it? How did that process go about? And how important are jumper numbers to you, or they're not really?
I've never worn anything other than 1.
Okay.
But I got it because that was my dad's number.
Yeah.
I haven't played in anything but 1, but I wouldn't be that bothered if I had to wear another one. That's my first choice.
Well, I mean, a king and a queen are number 1, so I mean it fits that. And king by name and by number.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Now, if you were the AFL, AFLW, and or Waflw CEO for a day, Kingy, what rule would you change and or add?
I think I would make the game a little bit longer again.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously suit someone like me that can run a little bit more, but I would like to see eventually the 6 players in the arcs.
Oh yeah.
With 5. I'm not. Yeah. In the W anyway, we play with the 5.
Yeah. That's good. Is it true they've added in a new rule to the Waflw where you have to have like a couple of people in the forward line, like 2 people?
Yeah, you have to have 1 in the 50 and 2 behind half, at least, or 3 behind the halfway line, including that 1 in the 50.
Okay, that's very interesting. Some rules. I mean, I've had a few girls that say if they were in charge, that'd be something that they'd love to, remove.
Yeah, that I don't know. The umpires are always telling people that they have to move back. It just makes more work for them, really.
That's very true. So I got a few more for you, Kingy. So I really do appreciate you coming on. In a dream scenario, Kingy, if you could map out this entire season for you from now until the end of the year, how would you map it out?
I think during the regular season, have a few real tough, hard-fought, close games that obviously you always want to come out on top, especially after our loss this weekend. I think we could have a few more wins. So maybe not lose too many more games, but maybe wouldn't hurt too much to go down in a tough loss here and there, and then blow them out of the park in the final, run over the top of everything. Yeah, ideally.
That's very true. I mean, like sometimes, Kingy, a bad loss. I mean, obviously you don't want any, but be real. Generally, there's always one. Sometimes a bad loss can kind of turn things around for you too. Not just from a win-loss ratio, but from a level point of view, you go, okay, this has happened. What can we do to fix this? And then you can kind of expose some individual or team weaknesses as well, and then know when you get to the back end, okay, this is what happened when we played them last time. Now we know what we need to do to get better against that team or just in general.
Yeah, exactly. It's not always a bad thing. It's just not fun to lose, is it?
No, we don't like losing, Kingy. Just look at that goal, King Johnson. I don't like losing, and I don't think anyone would, to be honest. Now, one more for you, Kingy. So I really do appreciate you coming on. What advice would you get people in your position, or some of the girls that you're playing with, or just younger boys and girls in general that want to get to state league level, and then hopefully that higher goal, which you've gotten so close so far, and hopefully it does happen for you at some point. If they want to reach the highest levels, what advice would you give? So something obviously you've done that's kind of got you into that position where you're so close right now. What advice would you give out to people?
Just to put in that bit extra. It always helps. So just really emphasizing like routine and putting in extra, but then also the recovery side of things as well is important, especially as you do get a bit older. And just to play and to perform with the confidence that you obviously get confidence from putting in that extra work, and so put in that extra work so then you know when it comes down to it, you can back your confidence up and really give it a good.
That's well said, King. And of course, never forget, always have a smile and be up and about like yourself, King. Pleasure having you on. I'm sure we'll do this again at some point. Appreciate you coming on. All the best for the rest of the year, and go the Districts.
Thank you. Nice speaking with you.